And now it's time for Ask Roz and Mocha.
All right, gang, here we are, episode 863, Ask Roz and Mocha. A ton of questions to get to, including on the phone. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. How are you?
I'm here.
What's going on, bro? What's your question?
It's all good. My question, I'm going to read it verbatim how I wrote it.
No problem.
Okay. How did you arrive at making the docuseries decision? I ask because the memoir was over a year ago, and this thought of writing the start of the show into the book was present back when Roz wrote it. So that must mean this has been in the works for some time now. I'm not sure if this is covered in the docuseries, but I'm really interested in hearing Mocha open up more, considering how cagey he sometimes is on air.
Oh, bro, you have no idea.
Yo, stop asking so many questions. All right.
Yeah, I think pretty much everything you said was accurate. Yeah, we've been working on this. This thing has been in the works for a very, very long time. And yeah, because I know that, and we've said this before, which is when the book came out, there were, as wonderful as fans were, there were a lot of people who sort of had hoped that I was going to put more in the book about the show. Mm-hmm. But that's a story that is better told between Mocha and myself, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's two people that need to tell the same story, because we have two very different versions of how this show started. Yep. And they're both great stories. And then we go into, Mocha growing up, me growing up, and yeah. So when you brought up the fact that Mocha is cagey at times, there's one section of, I think it's episode, I don't even know, maybe episode 5, where there's one section that is probably like a third of the episode that is 100% entirely dedicated to just that.
Is it fair to say that in the almost 15 years we've been doing this show, on that episode throughout this docuseries, mm-hmm. probably the most open and vulnerable I've ever been?
Yes,
right?
For sure. But not only, okay. Here, yes, 100% yes. But what you get in this is the why Mocha was never that open. That, I think, is the important thing. It's not just wanting to hear sort of Mocha open up. It's to get the story of why he wasn't. And that is the important story to tell in all of this, because we could have interviewed Mocha and he just could have said a whole bunch of stuff, and then people would have been like, oh, he's finally opening up. But it's the why, I think, is what fans will really sort of gravitate towards.
Michael, six episodes. They'll drop weekly every Wednesday at midnight on the regular podcast feed. So hope you enjoy it, man.
Yeah, I know I will. I figured this question was going to be funny because I'm asking for the backstory to the backstory.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, which is what we did. That's what this is. It's the backstory to the backstory, which is kind of crazy. You will hear my favorite part of the series is the story and the history of Mocha and DJ Climax.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he finally talks, right?
Yeah. And then you get all of,
because it's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Does it sound like we're telling the story, like almost like a love story, like we're a couple?
Of you and Climax?
Uh-huh.
No. Of me and you? Meh, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that our story veers in that direction a little bit.
Like, there's so many conversations that happen, and
there's been like a year plus worth of interviews, right?
Yeah,
it's really crazy. But no, the Climax stuff with Mocha and the sort of the history of the mix and how they met and their relationship and their friendship, and then Cardinal is in there talking about the intro song to the mix and just what the mix means to people. And it's really it's a really incredible story, Mocha Climax and the Roz and Mocha mix. Like, it's really great.
Good.
The story behind it is really great.
You're gonna love it, Michael.
Oh yeah, I know I will.
All right, buddy.
I'll be there at midnight. Just play.
Right on, dude.
Perfect. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for listening. Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Oh, it's still Roz.
Oh, cool. Can't complain with that.
All right. Last time I'm going to be open about anything.
See what you get.
Later, dude.
Stay easy, guys.
See ya. Chris asks, is Maurie invited to Roz's 50th birthday party? Shem, do me a favor. Check the guest list that we put together. Is he?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Name again? Maurie? Does it go by Mo or is it full
Or
name?
no, maybe it's check by last name first.
Oh, okay. Shemroy.
Can you read the question just so we can accurately?
Is Maurie invited to Roz's 50th birthday party?
Damn.
And I just asked Shem to check the guest list that we put together.
Is it possible it's under your pseudonym?
Is it under Mark Bentley?
Mark Bentley? I don't see that here.
Nicole says, how do you communicate with people when you don't speak the same language? Google Translate, hand signals, paper and pen?
I don't.
I don't talk to other people who don't
Like maybe sometimes
speak
when
English.
you're on vacation, but in my day-to-day life, I don't meet a whole lot of people who don't speak English.
The only thing I could think of, right, was this one time forever ago, we were in Cabo and we went to this small shop. It was like an ice cream shop or popsicles, right?
Yeah.
And they made the popsicles with like fresh fruit and like nothing in there was in English. The people didn't speak English. We were trying to speak English to them and they had no idea.
Yeah.
So the only way we could ask them if certain flavors were what we thought they were was we pulled up our phone and we were using emojis.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So we're using
That's
like
interesting.
the watermelon emoji
Yeah.
and then the coconut emoji, and they would be like shake their head yes or no. The orange emoji.
Interesting.
Right?
I always find that, like, if I go to a Spanish-speaking country, I can get away with it, right? You know enough just from like the basics kind of thing, right? Same thing with in Italy and definitely in French. Like I know enough just French words that you can sort of get by. I can't speak it, but if somebody's talking to me, I can sort of maybe kind of get the gist, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. The one that really screwed me up is when we went to Portugal.
Yeah.
Because Portugal is just for me, it's a very, very difficult language because it's not Spanish, it's not Italian, it's not like it's you don't hear a lot of Portuguese the same way you hear French, Spanish, and Italian.
Yeah.
Right? Like I know in Maurie's house with Matthew, he speaks Portuguese all the time. So
Only when he's speaking about me.
right. So
But when you guys went to Portugal forever ago, like,
I learned stuff. Like,
but for Matthew, like the Portuguese that he speaks, like is it the same as homeland?
it's not an easy language to learn.
The interesting thing is because his family's from the Azores, which is the islands, it's even different than the mainland.
Yeah, it's not an easy language to learn. Portuguese is not an easy language
So
to
that
learn.
was going to be similar. I'm going to ask you this, Maria, because you're traveling to Greece this summer. You speak Greek, but are
Yes.
there different like dialects of Greek when you travel? Like, will the Greek that you and your family know translate exact to where you guys are traveling to, or do things kind of change depending on where you are?
Yeah, like if you're in northern Greece, you get a little bit more Macedonian. But I'm not traveling up there. However, I think, obviously English is my first language, so I think English first, and then I
Yeah.
translate it to Greek. So sometimes even when I'm speaking to them in Greek, like their slang doesn't exactly translate the way I'm saying it. So I feel like sometimes I still have to switch up of how I say things, or like I'll mix it in English word.
Yeah.
So like even when my cousins were here last year for my sister's wedding, there was a bit of like they were trying to understand what I was saying at one point, or like I had to change words around, or they would just be like say it in English because it doesn't translate exactly.
So you use something like Google Translate then if you're not 100%
No, I'll
sure?
just say it in English and hope that they
okay.
know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
The girls in my house are learning because Roxy went through and learned. She knows a bunch of German. She just did it on her own for like a year and a half, just like on apps on her phone, and learned a bunch of German.
Okay.
So she knows a lot of German, and I think the girls are doing Italian now.
Why, they wanna go to Italy or
No,
something?
it was just after we binged Ripley, and then they were like, "You want to learn Italian like in our free time?" And she was like, "Okay, cool." So they're doing Italian now, and they found these.
They don't want to include you?
I don't have time for that. I'll learn it. I'll learn something.
You don't want to be a part of the Italian group chat?
Nah, they can figure that out.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. They sent me all the stuff. Here, it'd be great if we did it. I'm like, okay, cool.
You know, it'd be so funny. Could you imagine if I learned Italian with them?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah, but no, it was all because of Ripley, and I think that they want to go to Italy because they haven't been. So
wait, but why German? Why did Roxy want to learn German? Did anything spark that interest?
They went to Berlin, and then before they were even going to Berlin, though, Roxy was like, I kind of want to learn a language because she wasn't feeling French, and because French in school is like it's a class, right? Like you have to take it. It's a pain in the ass, all this stuff. But she's very interested in languages, and so she opted for instead. I was just like, why don't you just learn Spanish, right? It's very easy to expose yourself to Spanish. It's difficult to expose yourself to German on a daily basis or on a regular basis. But she wanted to do German, so she did like a year and a half of German. Yeah.
Richard says here, this is a weird question and a quick answer for me, at least.
Yeah.
You weirdo, Richard. Would you rather send your mother to prison for a year and get $50 million and you can't tell her why until she gets out, or go to prison for a year and your mother gets $50 million? First of all, I wouldn't want to do either of those, but if I had to make a choice, I would rather go to prison than to send my ma.
Oh, I would send my mom
to prison.
I don't think anyone's shocked with your answer, Maury.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a difference between a prison where I'm going to go and a prison where, like, my 75-year-old mother would go.
Ross, do not!
Really?
Do not send your mother to prison! Ross, don't do it.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
No, you can't switch up the question.
No. I'm not switching up the question. Let me ask you this, because I know right now you're trying to answer that question. Okay?
Yeah.
But Maria, if I asked your mother that question, what would she say?
She would go.
Thank you. Mocha, if I asked your mother, what would she say?
Yeah, she would probably say she would
Shem,
go.
if I asked your mother, what would she say?
My mom is definitely sending me to prison. I'm just going to let you know that right now. She is not going. My mom? Yeah, right.
Keith says here, who would you like to have on the show? Each of you should answer this. Like, who do you mean? Like a celebrity or just in general? Like another person?
I don't know.
Like one other person?
Who would I like to have on the show?
Like as a one-time thing, as a guest, as a permanent fixture on the show?
You know who I would like to have on the show now, although she would never do it, is my kid.
Aw. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Because it's been a long time since she's been on the show.
The last time Roxy, I believe, was on the show
well.
was the time where she flamed Maurie in the joke competition.
Right.
Right?
Is that what it was? Yes, right?
That was forever ago.
Yeah.
She came in to do jokes. It was a joke battle between Roxy and Maurie. Yeah. And Roxy at the time just killed him.
Right. And Maurie got it was so awful.
Yeah.
Because it's a joke battle. So first of all, the whole premise is supposed to be funny because it's telling jokes, right? And then Maurie, because my kid was like 11 at the time or something like that, like 10, right?
Yeah, probably younger.
And then, so Maurie had all his jokes and he was prepared, and Roxy had all her jokes and she was prepared. And during the bit, first of all, Roxy did flame Maurie and legitimately win, but there was no way that Maurie was going to win that. There's no way. Why would you even go into this bit thinking that you wanted to beat an 11-year-old in jokes? And when we said that Roxy won, Maurie was pissed.
Yeah.
He was legitimately pissed.
You're 50
that
plus,
he didn't
man.
Win.
Come on. Understand the situation.
Right?
Anyway, Maury, you want to answer this? Who would you want on the show?
Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order.
Shem, who do you want on the show?
Lisa Vanderpump.
Wow. Oh, yeah, you're just involved in all things Vanderpump Rules, huh?
I'm going to have to set aside Martha, and Lisa Vanderpump takes the cake now, bro.
Really?
What?
Shem just started 5 weeks ago, Vanderpump Rules, 4 weeks ago, Vanderpump Rules, and you are now caught up to...
Season 11, the current season.
The current season.
Yeah.
Right.
Shem, every single day watching.
At least 5 or 6 episodes a day.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I love it.
That's
it's
crazy.
Such a good show.
Maria, who do you want on the show?
Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen.
Chair throwing Morgan Wallen.
I don't know if Morgan Wallen is going to be able to get in the country
Yeah,
anymore.
I mean, just to talk about his music. That chair throwing.
First of all, that's so boring. Nobody wants to hear
talk
Morgan
about
Wallen
the
talking about his
music.
music.
Look at you blushing.
I'm not blushing. He throws chairs.
Yeah.
Right.
Then again, I wasn't going to say I like criminals, so here we go.
Let's see here. Maria.
Yes?
Not you. Maria, who's listening, who sent in. It's actually this Maria is also Greek, by the way. Dimitraklis? Is that Greek? I assume so.
see.
Maria Dimitraklis?
Yeah.
Roz, has your life changed in any way since you got married? And if so, how?
Not that much,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Not much has changed. I'm not looking forward to the summer. I mean, I am looking forward to the summer. Don't
Why?
get me wrong.
First wedding anniversary is coming
I
up.
know we had this conversation the other day, Catherine and I, and we had for the 17 years or 16 years or whatever it was that we were together before we got married.
Yeah.
For the first, I would say 8 or 9 years, we never had an anniversary, right? And then one day we were like, man, why don't we have an anniversary? And then so what we did was we found out what the date was on the night we met, right? And then so that just became our anniversary. It was August 31st. That was the night we met all those years ago.
The anniversary of the Roz and Mocha show as well.
Right. Yeah, the anniversary of the Roz and Mocha show. And so we had said August 31st. And now, so forever, that's been our anniversary. It's the end of the summer. It's awesome. We always do something great. But then we got married last year. And so now we have this new anniversary. But in my head, when I think of our anniversary, I still think August 31st.
No, your new anniversary is July 15th.
I don't know if it is.
I'm telling you it is.
I know, but we're going to celebrate July 15th.
Yeah.
But our anniversary is still August 31st.
Did you remember it was July 15th, or you only like solidly said that, confidently said that because I said it?
Listen.
I
Okay.
knew it. I saw
I
the
had,
look in
said
your
it,
eye.
I had already said it like 3 times.
Yeah, I saw the
I
look
had
in your
already,
eye.
I had already said it like 3 times. This whole conversation.
It was like the look of realization.
This whole conversation.
Nah, bro, it's July 15th.
I said it 3 times already. I know when I got married, July 15th.
Okay,
That's my anniversary.
Let's talk to Aaron here. Aaron, welcome to the Roz and Mocha show. How are you?
Good afternoon.
You are listening from the UK, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. How did you discover the Roz and Mocha show before we get to your question?
I visited Canada in 2009,
Yeah.
Wow.
twice in the same year.
Okay.
Damn. And then you just like found us?
I found another station I'm not going to mention, which was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
which
I
one?
found
Which one?
Z103, was it?
Never heard of them.
Oh, the internet station, yeah.
But it wasn't my kind of music, so I eventually found you in 2010, so it's been, 14 years?
Wow, that's
Okay.
incredible. Well, thank you, Aaron. That means a lot. Okay, what is what's your question?
My question is, have you been to the UK and did you enjoy it?
Roz, you want to go ahead?
Yes, I have been to the UK many times, and I have enjoyed it every single time I have gone. And I've been to the countryside, I've been to the cities, I've done the touristy stuff, I've done the local stuff. I've always been there for really great trips, mostly through work, and so you kind of get like really cool access when you're there with the jobs that I did when I was there. Always have had a great time, like really, really, really wonderful time, for sure.
I've been a bunch when I was a kid. I spent an entire summer when I was like 13 or 14 years old out there. My parents both, my parents are from Guyana, but they both separately, they met in England, but they both moved from Guyana to England. And that's where they then met and got married. So we still have a lot of family.
Yeah.
My mom's sister still lives out there. My mom travels out to England at least once a year. But yeah, I've been meaning to go back. I just haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I liked it.
I love it. I told the story years ago on the show where Catherine and I went one time, and Rox was little. She was staying with my mom, and we went over the Christmas break one year, and Catherine's mom's from the UK. Catherine was born in Guernsey. And we were there, and we wanted to take like one of those double-decker tour buses, right?
Yeah.
And we were looking for this one place to go, and we asked the guy, what stop do we get off in order to get to this place? And the guy goes, Ma Blanche. And we were like, Ma Blanche. And he's like, Ma Blanche. And we were
Okay.
like, Ma Blanche? And he was like, yeah, Ma Blanche. And we were like, Ma Blanche. And we had a map.
Yeah.
And like Catherine's looking in the map, and she's like, Ma Blanche. And I'm like, Ma Blanche? And the guy's, Ma Blanche. And I was like, okay, cool. We're screwed. So we just go to the back, and we're like, man, speaking English. We shouldn't have too difficulty with this. We can figure it out on our own.
Speaking English.
English. And then we start going through the map, going through the map, going through the map, going through the map, going through the map. And we're like, Marble Arch.
Oh, what? Marble Arch?
Marble Arch.
Marble Arch, Arch. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it crystal clear, you idiot. How'd you not understand? You're speaking English.
Yeah. It was Marble Arch.
How about the rest of you guys? Maury, you ever been to the UK?
No, haven't. No.
No,
Really
Maria,
want to.
ever been?
No, never been.
No, Shem?
I did. I went for a couple days for the royal wedding, like to cover it for a radio station.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought you were like one of these,
I know.
royal fans.
Booked vacation time.
So, I swear.
My parents
mom
are
wanted
going
to
in
do
a
it.
couple of days, actually.
Are they to the UK?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll go visit Marble Arch.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you so much, Aaron. We appreciate the support. We appreciate you listening. Have you heard that we have a documentary podcast, a 6-part docuseries that's coming out?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Unfortunately, over here we've struggled to get your stream these days, so I can only listen to the podcast.
It's a better way to go, though,
Oh,
anyway.
that's okay. But like, if you subscribe to the podcast, then this docuseries, this 6-part docuseries, an episode every single week, every Wednesday at midnight, you'll still be able to get it on the regular feed.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Okay. Super excited for you to hear it. Thank you for listening. Your support means everything to us, especially that you're listening in the UK. Before we let you go, between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
It's always been Roz, I'm afraid.
Oh, see? Yeah. Thanks for being so polite.
Moblotch. Yo, have a wicked day, Aaron.
Thank you.
Later, Holmes.
See you
Take it
guys.
easy.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
I'm afraid.
Edward says here, we'll end on this question. Was
Yes.
there anything you've stood firm on for the longest time and then had a change of heart?
Brussels sprouts.
What?
For my whole life, Brussels sprouts, I would not eat them. They were terrible, and now I can't get enough of them.
What was the question again?
Was there anything you've stood firm on for the longest time and then had a change of heart?
I will say
Maury
this about your Brussels sprouts, Maury.
Brussels sprouts.
You weren't wrong then, and you're not wrong now. They engineered the bitterness out of Brussels sprouts.
Did they?
So the Brussels sprouts that you had when you were a kid were awful.
Mm-hmm.
They were terrible. The Brussels sprouts that you can buy now are great.
Because of the butter?
No, because they engineered out the bitterness. Brussels sprouts used to taste terrible, and now they taste fine.
Oh, there you go.
Because of science.
And they're good for you.
Yeah. I
Roz,
love Brussels sprouts.
What's your answer?
I don't know.
Okay, Shem?
I don't think I've ever stood firm on anything.
Yeah, nothing. Shem, what's your answer?
Wait, Roz, no, hold on.
What?
Not getting married, and now you're married. You always on the show said that you don't like marriage, blah, 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 and now you're married.
Yeah, I don't think he ever said he doesn't like marriage. Now you're trying to rewrite history.
Yeah. I mean, I know I wasn't that firm. The one thing that I did always say that was the truth, which was the shocking thing to people, was that Catherine and I had never discussed marriage, which was true. So it's not that I was like against it, although I just don't like government being in my business, right?
Sure.
I should be living in a cabin in the woods, right? Like I don't like asking permission for things, especially to form like.
You just want to go off the grid.
I don't.
You look like someone who lives off
Yeah, good one. That was good. Good one, Maury. That's the line of the podcast right there.
Unfortunately.
Maria, you got an answer?
Yeah, my last relationship working out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yo, you just trumped Maury on that one.
Yeah, you stood firm. You stood firm for too long on that. Too long on that.
Okay, you know what? There is nowhere else to go.
let's
with
ask
this.
Shem.
Thank you very much, everyone, for all of your questions. Keep an eye out on our Instagram at Kiss925. Once a week, we will post up a picture or a video that says Ask Roz and Mocha. Load up the comment section. 2 of you will be selected, as always, to join us on the podcast. Don't forget, every Wednesday, midnight, 6-part docuseries, The History of Roz and Mocha. You are going to love it. Thank you for listening. This has been episode number 863 of the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.